last 15, 20 minutes rushing around. So I'm going to sit here for a second and just ground, just connect,
We
get back to
are
that
getting
space.
grounded. And I am super excited to be able to have you joining me today to be able to talk about something really, I think, important and impactful. As we're getting ready for the new year, people is thinking about like all the great things that they want to step into and do and accomplish within the year. And as you look back on 2018 and reflect on all the things that happened, the lessons learned, the wins, the challenges, all of that, you find that as you start to contemplate that, there's things that you're doing or have done in your past that no longer serve you. And so for all the amazing things that you're looking to step into the new year, there may be some things you have to let go of first to make room for the new. So I'm Havilah Malone, the queen of inspiration and just good friend to some amazing people who I have in my life. And we have like really in-depth and really amazing conversations about things that affect our lives, our businesses, our health, our wellness, like the mentality, the energy, the emotions. And I want to be able to share that information and tools and things that we use with you as well. And so joining me today is my very good friend, Cathy Riva. She is a mindfulness teacher out of New York, works with corporations and schools, and is just doing amazing things. This woman is definitely somebody you want to know. And Cathy, we were having a really great conversation about letting go.
Oh, yeah. Havilah, I'm ready for more space. I think that's like, you said it so beautifully. Like, I'm ready for even more space. I want to be more resilient. I'm ready to be more flexible. Like, and I don't just mean like in yoga. I mean, like, I want to be able to hear other people's opinions and be like, okay, I'm open to that. Like, that's your opinion. It's all good.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you for having me on, by the way. I'm so thrilled to be with Havilah's Friends. Like, it's the best. I love you so much. And yeah, I'm in Mobile, Alabama right now. So we are Southern sisters at the moment.
Yes, it was so awesome. I love it because every year when Cathy comes in town, like she flies through New Orleans, and so we always are able to get together and see each other's beautiful faces, and laugh and talk about what's going on in life, and hug each other, and just like share our wins and our struggles and our stories and things that we're using to be able to help us with shedding those old skins and stepping into that place of power and owning yourself and your authenticity, and moving to the next level in whatever that looks like for you. And so one of the things that we were talking about is a process that I started using that I love, and it's called the Power Purge. And so it's really about, and there's a couple of things that you will need if you want to do this. And we're going to talk about our process with this and some of the things that we are letting go and stepping into. But you're going to need a couple items. One is some paper, something that you can write with. You're going to need a trusty pen that actually writes. I had to go get a different pen. You're also going to need some type of safe container to be able to do a little burning, and some type of ignition source. So whether it's a candle or matches or a lighter or something like that, safety first, of course. And
Have your
so,
fire extinguisher ready.
yes, exactly. And I have a jug of water like down there just in case. Like safety first, safety first. And so when we talk about, so 2018, like some really exciting, some really great things happened, but also experienced some challenges. And I found that there were things that I needed to let go of that were going to help me to propel myself forward towards the things that I want. So what I did, I took a piece of paper out, I wrote down a 2018 purge list. So basically, all the things that are no longer serving me, that I don't want to embrace or embody anymore, behavior wise, attitude wise, just things that no longer are working. And so I'll just share a couple of those things that I put down on my purge list. And I'd love to be able to discuss some of the things that you are also looking to let go of. And so, one, I have procrastination.
That's
uh,
a great one.
yes, indecision, playing
Mm.
small, self-sabotage, holding
Mm.
back, not asking for what I want, fear of the unknown, doing things I don't want to do, uh, charging less than my worth. How many of us have issues in the area of charging what we're worth? Not fully sharing my knowledge and gifts with the world, which is exactly why we're doing this right
Mm.
now.
Yeah, good.
Living in clutter, some areas that need to be cleaned, not saying what needs to be said, and being too serious. So,
You're like so happy and funny, but I like that. I'm gonna add that to my list.
yes, and as you're hearing things that we're sharing, maybe there's things that you want to be able to put onto your list, because I highly encourage that you do this. And there's such an importance with writing things down. Not only is there a psychological to physiological process that happens when you actually write things down, but it also helps to give you some awareness about what's really going on. It helps you to better articulate like what's going on in your head and your feelings, and also gives you some direction so that you can take action towards the things that you actually want. So it's really important that you actually write down these things that you're looking to purge out of your life for the new year. So Cathy, I love if you would share with us what your list or some of the things that you want to let go of.
Oh, there's so much. But Havilah, what I really like that you said was the specificity of your list. Like the clearer you are with what you write down, I think the better execution you'll find from it. So I liked, and just our conversations, I was able to clarify even more, like some of the things that I want to let go of. So like my list begins with, my little 11-year-old actually added this yesterday when we had this conversation. And she said judgment. She wants to be less judgy, and I agree with her. Like I want to add that to my list, because even though I practice no judgment often, and that's what I do for a living, I often find myself judging myself. So I will criticize myself. I'll say, oh, I could have done that better. Oh, I'm running late. Oh, I didn't charge for it. I just criticize myself. So I realize it's self-judgment that I really need to start working on more and be more aware of it. And just be a little gentler and kinder and honor where I am now, because I've come so far. Like I should really celebrate. Like, oh my God, I'm so proud of where I am now. The next thing that I really want to work on is I always joke that I'm a recovering control freak, because I'm a type A personality. I worked in television, and I worked in the party planning business in Manhattan, and I did a lot of really amazing things, still do a lot of amazing things. But in that, I was less collaborative and more, and I'll admit this, I was more of I don't want to say dictator, but I was more of it was like, here's my idea, and I just pushed it forward, as opposed to letting the idea kind of grow into a bigger thing with other people's information. So I really am excited this year for collaboration. Like I want to invite collaboration into my heart. Like I know I have lots of great ideas personally, but I'm ready for those ideas to be taken to the next level with other people's help. So like that's what I'm really excited about. Letting go of even more control, and just letting the universe be like, let me in, let me in. So
I love that whole piece of collaboration, and like just using everyone's brilliance, and bringing that in.
Like we're better together. Like I know when I do like classes, whether it's yoga or fitness or whatever I'm doing a class at, like I push myself to like be the best in the class. Like I don't want to be like the weak link. I want to always be the person in the class who's like strong and supportive. And I'm really ready to bring that into every aspect of my life. I want to be the best part, or the equal part of the class. Like I'm so excited about that. Excited. My list just jumped off my lap. My list was so excited it just jumped off my lap. The next, then is the big one, and we may have to have a conversation about this. I really want to work on value. What I want to let go of is my inability to clarify my worth. And then, I have this wonderful reputation. Well, I think that I'm a really nice person. Hopefully other people agree. Yeah. And sometimes what happens in that nice person category is I allow myself to be a little bit of a doormat, and like I'll just say yes to most anything. I'm usually the person who just rises to the occasion, and I'll say yes to help, or I'll say yes to to a lot of things. And I need to start saying no more. That's something I need to work on. But in saying yes, because I really love all the things I say yes to, I pretty much do it authentically, but I don't often charge for it. So I would love to do, I'd love to respect myself enough to find my value and clarify it. So I think that's the work I have in 2019. It's really deep because, you know, truthfully, like today, I was mentioning this to you earlier, you know, I woke up to all this information that was basically saying, you've got to clean my side of the street. I have authenticity issues with my value. And maybe it's because I don't feel worthy, or I'm not sure what the why is. I'm not even trying to know. But what I do need to know is I need to be more in integrity with my value. So I woke up this morning and it's like, you know, all these people needed money from me. They were like, oh, you owe me money. And they were all mistakes. And I think normally I would have been like, okay, you know what, I'll just pay you. I'll just handle it. Or I won't say anything. I'll just like make a quick comment like, oh, I think this is a mistake. But after actually speaking with you, Havilah, I went back and I kind of clarified that this like persistent kind of like nitpicking, like, oh, you owe me $60, you owe me $20. I was like, wait, these are mistakes. Like I was able to speak up. I was able to find my voice and speak up for myself. And that, I think I need to do that more often, to speak up for myself.
I love that. And I just want to like honor you in this moment for that, of speaking up for yourself, of feeling. I think a lot of times, and many people struggle with this. I know I have struggled with this as well, is like you feel the dis-ease within yourself. Like there's something that is off and you know that, hey, this isn't right. Like this doesn't feel right. And a lot of times we will swallow the pain. We will swallow the, like, I don't want to hurt your feelings, or I don't want to say anything to upset you. So I'm going to bend. I'm going to contort myself. I'm going to settle, as opposed to honoring this intuitive or this knowing that I have within, and honor myself and honor my own worth. I think with anything, there has to be an exchange of value for value. And when we lessen, or we say, you know what, I'll take less so that you feel better, so that you're okay, we are doing a disservice to all of us. So because we have the ability to level up and to help other people level up, and maybe there's lessons that they need to learn on clearly communicating, or, you know, staying in integrity, and we can be that beacon or that example by honoring our own value and our own worth. And I love that, you know, because we had an amazing conversation a little bit earlier today about, you know, kind of the situations and the things that were going on. And I think it's really important that we always remember too, like there are 8 billion people on this planet. There are hundreds of thousands of organizations. There are millions, probably billions of opportunities, not only ones that already exist currently, but ones that can be created. They're infinite opportunities. So when you look at things from that type of abundance and expansion mentality, there's never a time where it makes sense for us to go in and do something that is for less than our worth, or not to honor ourselves, because the opportunities are plentiful. What may have served for a period of time may no longer serve anymore. So maybe it's time to let that go, to make space for the new thing. So it's kind of like, hey, you know what? I've been doing this for you for free, or basically volunteering or whatever. And it's really time for me to step into this place of owning my worth and getting that value for value. Like maybe the lesson back then was I learned a valuable lesson, or I was supposed to give in this situation. But now this is no longer in alignment with who I am and where I'm going. And I release this. I'm letting this go. And I think that's such a powerful lesson for all of us, like even especially me, you know, in the areas where I haven't honored my value or my worth. As a matter of fact, that's one of the things on my list I have, like playing small. That's one of the things I'm purging in 2018, or doing things I don't want to do.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Like I think playing small and not honoring your voice, I think those are all really great, wonderful things to take a look at. And then if what you're doing is no longer serving, like let that go. Let that go, because it's time. Like this kind of leads into two things. One is what you were saying. What I often do is I optimize for other people. So what you just said is like an example of like, oh, I'll optimize for what I think you're feeling, or not you personally, but like what one is feeling. And I'll over optimize when the person doesn't even need that. Like, you know, it's not necessary for me to, again, it's probably as a part of my recovering control freak issue, but I over optimize for what I anticipate other people will need. And I often find when I'm conscious of it that people they'd rather just hear you speak what you need and your truth from like a really clean place, a really authentic place, as opposed to what if thoughts or guessing or second guessing what they need, because you know what, it's their responsibility to identify that. And it's also, I mean, as empaths and as intuitive women especially, I find the balance of the dance of like honoring my own voice and then feeling into what other people needs. Like I have to really be careful, because I will over optimize and that doesn't serve me. So that's the next thing I want to let go of. I want to stop over optimizing for other people's and my what if thoughts. What if they don't like me, or what if they don't listen to me, or what if they, you know, say no, or what if it's not, you know, like trusting that the universe has a process, trusting in the timing that it's going to be divine, it's going to be all okay. And knowing that I need to learn these lessons so that I can rise, so that you can rise, so that everyone can get better, because we're better together. Going back to like that example of collaboration, we're just so much better together. And I'm so ready. Like I want to be valued, and I want to be valuable to the world. I got a lot of gifts to give, and I want to give them a fair way. Like I want to be on the Pickler and Bench show. If you haven't seen this show, it's so terrific. It's Ben Aronson and Kelly Pickler, and they have a talk show. And I want to be on the Ben and Pickler show with a good faith segment. I want to talk about all the really amazing things that everyone's doing in the world of energy, in the world of emotional intelligence. And I want to spread that to the world, because I think people really, I need it. I think I need it. Like you teach what you need to learn. That's like a quote from some wise person.
Yes. Anything you want to keep, you got to share it.
So it's like, I need it. And I know that in my 20 years of this practice, I've learned so many amazing things on the shoulders of giants like yourself, Havilah, like all the wisdom that comes from my friendships and my teachers, and both. I'm ready to share in a bigger way. I can't wait. Like I'm so excited. I'm so excited for 2019. Bring it on. Yeah.
Yes. And speaking of it, I think this is such a great segue into like part 2 of that process. So first you want to write down that 2018 like purge list, like all those things that no longer serve you, that, you know, it's time to let go of, that baggage that it's time to drop and leave where you picked it up. And you want to also get a second sheet of paper, and you want to write your 2019 power list. So all the things you want to embrace, the things you want to step into, the opportunities you want to have. It could even literally be the opposite affirmation of the thing that you wanted to let go of. So whatever it is that you want to step into, like just be clear about your intentions. And again, that process of writing it down helps you to be able to do that. So I'd love to be able to look at like some of the things from our power list, you know, which also gives people an idea of things that, you know, to go after. And again, we really would love to be able to hear like what you're purging, what, you know, you're stepping into, what's on that power list for you. Because I think the more we get to share these things and have these kind of conversations, it's a mirror for us. It helps us to be able to look at ourselves, and it's that collaborative effort of like-minded people on that climb, and we all can go faster together. I truly believe.
Yeah, and I love an example of like, so here's a negative that you want to turn into a positive. Could you do an example, Havilah? Like, what's one of your power purges, put it into a power positive?
Yes. So on my purge list, one of the things I was indecision, and so on my power list, I put decisiveness. So yes, like I'm stepping into decisiveness. Like yes, no. Like once I get the information that I need, make a decision and move on it. And so really being able to step into that and let go of, because indecision and indecisiveness does not serve me. It doesn't. It just leads to procrastination and missed opportunities, and just a lot of like, what if I shoulda, woulda, coulda,
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Like you're just shitting all over yourself.
We call that reframing, right? So like when you take a negative and turn it into a positive, and we teach the kids to do it in the classroom when I work for this organization, Mission B, and it's such a wonderful exercise to just start to think about how you can turn any negative thing into a positive. Like, where is the gold nugget of the lesson that needs to be walked away with? And I think you also said something really wise, that it's a process. Like, it's not just writing it down, which is so good. It's so huge. Like, write this stuff down. This is like one of the best exercises to manifest I've ever experienced. So write it down. But there's also a process of letting it go and taking the space to get the clarity. And you reminded me of that this morning when we had that conversation, where when you're unsure or you're just not clear, if you don't have the specificity, like you're indecisive and you're going to be decisive. If you're still a little bit, like I was a little, like I just kind of put value on my list and it wasn't very specific. And I knew I needed to get more specific. So I stopped and I gave myself pause and really listened for what I needed. And that slowing down, taking that moment for yourself, I think is a valuable part of the process to really honor in between the letting go and ushering in.
Absolutely. I think that that's so important and powerful, what you just shared. I think it's the getting into the harmony of the universe, getting in alignment to those universal principles. And there's a principle of they call divine timing, or the law of gestation. So there's time or timing to everything. Like, we are in this society that, like, we want instant gratification. We want it right now. Like, it has to happen in this moment. Like, I want to say, give me $1 million, and then poof, where's my $1 million? And yes, on the spiritual side of things, in the spiritual world, things are instantaneous. You put that thought out there, it is already in existence. But to manifest that into this physical format, into the tangible thing that you can feel and touch and see, it takes time. And so even this is a process. I think to give yourself the opportunity to sit, to listen, to really honor that intuition. And if you have been suppressing that or not really in tune with yourself because you're just you're being so responsive to everything else and what's on social media and what people are telling you and what you should do and how you should act and where you should be and where you should go, like, you got to sit still. Like, you got to get into that place of like mindfulness and meditation and just really listen. And the answers, they're there. They're already inside of you. And the clarity will come in time. Like, today is a great day to do this exercise for those of you who are, tuning in today, because it's a full moon. It helps with that.
December 22nd. Yeah.
Yeah, the 22nd, like it's such a great day to be able to work on that, because there's a harmony of the universe right now that will help you with that clarity and the purging and the bringing things to light. But no matter what day you're working on this, just give yourself the time and just and I love what Riley shared about not being judgmental. Even in this process, don't be judgmental of yourself. The stuff that comes up for you, just lovingly look at it. Just be observant of the things that are coming up for you, and just say, "Oh, okay, yeah, indecision, yeah, I could be indecisive. Cool, let me just write that down." Not like, "Yeah, you are so indecisive. Like why are you like that?" Just lovingly be observant and just look at the things that come up and put it down on the paper. Just put it down on the paper. And even for your power list, the things that you want, don't play small. Like, if you want $400,000 this year, cool, write it down. There's nothing stopping you. There's no limitation to what you can do, accomplish. If it's $400 million, write it down. Honor yourself. Honor the things that come up for you. And it feels good to start getting in alignment. And I'm sure you could agree.
Yeah. But I will also tell you, like, I have the push pull, right? So when I'm in alignment, man, that feels good. But then I'm like a little addicted to my old ways of thinking. So I will go back. So one of the things I want to let go of is like the victim mentality. And I find that I've pretty much like really done a good job with noticing my, when I fall back into that pattern. But then just last night, I was like, whatever. Like I love my husband dearly, but we didn't talk last night before I went to bed. And then the thoughts came back where like, oh, like he's in New York City, he's so busy, and here I am in Alabama and not doing anything. And I don't know, my self-worth kind of takes a hit, and my thinking, which is such a silly thing to say, but it's true. How my thoughts are, they're just thoughts, but they take me off track. And I just noticed, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm falling back into the waiting for him to call me. And then he didn't call me. And then I was like texting him. I'm like, what? I've got so much other stuff I could be doing right now. I could be making my power list. Like, why did I do this? Falling back into this victim mode. So I would just say that, like, even though we're looking to get rid of things, I think life is kind of like a spiral where you can let go of it lovingly, and then it might come back again. And you're like, oh, hi, there's that me playing the victim again. Oh gosh, that girl's got a violin. It's getting smaller and smaller, but it's still there. And then you have to laugh at it, right? So like, you just kind of are like, oh my gosh, that girl with that victim mode. She is such a silly monster. Like, just like keep spiraling up, is I guess what I would say is what I've learned in the letting go. And with the victim stuff, especially for me, it's like, oh, like, what am I doing? Like, I got to just like lovingly joke myself out of that space where I'm like, oh, I know I'm going to like empower myself in 2019. So anyway, yeah.
I love that. And it's so funny you say you're recovering, like control person, whatever. And I always say I'm a recovering perfectionist. And I used to have this belief about the world that if I work on something, then once I work on it and I master it or I get through it, then it's over. Like, it's done. Like, it's gone. Like, yeah, it's not really how life works exactly.
Man, I wish someone had taught me that in school. It would have saved me 20 years of my control freakishness, I think.
Oh my God. And you're right. It's like you just get better. So say it's the thing about value or your self-worth. Like, there was a time, like, where I started off in my value and self-worth, like being a victim of child molestation, growing up with that kind of like guilt and shame and just like feelings of disgust about myself, like I felt lower than dirt. So self-worth, like it was so low. And as the self-development work has been being done over the years and the healing has been being done over the years, my self-worth has significantly increased. Like, I can even talk about these things now. And I find that with every layer that you pull off, every layer that you get through, there may be another layer that you have to deal with in that same topic or that same genre of self-worth and value. And so maybe before it was like in relationships and no, I didn't feel good enough or pretty enough or whatever. And then maybe there was a piece of it that lingered because I think it's Zig Ziglar who said it, how you do anything is how you do everything. Like every aspect, because everything is connected. Every aspect of our life bleeds into the other. It's all like synchronicity and like working together. So like the piece of value also showed up in business where you're like, okay, you're not charging enough. You're not, asking for the things that you deserve or that you want or that you desire, so it's kind of like that value and self-worth piece kind of weaves its way. And so it's like, okay, well, I'm charging enough and cool. And I'm asking for my what I want, but you're still doing things that you don't want to do. So it's kind of like, it's the layers that I love. Like, it's the spiral. So even once you conquer something or you learn the lesson, there may be another piece to the puzzle, but as long as you keep progressing, you keep moving up, and sometimes you may move back down, it happens. But you just want to keep with a forward momentum as much as possible and find peace. Like, for me, it's just like I'm in this place in my life where it's just kind of like I need to feel aligned and feel peace. And some days I feel more of it, some days I do not feel it at all.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you definitely want to work on putting together that power list. So what are the things that you're stepping into, the things that you want that 2019 can and will bring for you if you do the work to step into it? And so I'll share a few of the other things that I have on my power list. So I have ease, love, open doors. You talked about the decisiveness. An extraordinary team. Talk about collaborations and not doing everything.
Yeah.
You know?
See, that's specific. I'm going to put down extraordinary team, not just collaboration. That's specific. Yes.
Right?
Yes. Writing that down.
Yes, I have to speak my truth, stand up for my value, to get help and tons of support, to get paid to help others get what they want. I have an appearance on Ellen because I don't know how long she's going to continue to do her television show.
Yes. I know someone at the show. I'll connect you.
When you put stuff out into the universe, you share, your desires, your dreams, your goals. You never know who is there and available to be able to help you. This is just so. It's not even ironic. I feel like it's synchronicity and alignment because I just said that to be able to get help and tons of support. I say I want to be on Ellen next, and then she's like, "Hey, I know somebody at the show." What? Yay! Thank you, universe. I love that. Or I have organization and great systems. I even have on here, talk about specific. I said I want a corporate sponsor or corporate smile sponsor. So someone like Crest or Colgate or something like that, because it's time to take the smile to the world.
I love that. Oh my gosh, sponsor. Let's think about that. Let's put that into the field of magnificence for a second.
Yes. Oh, and then one other thing, to become a Barbie ambassador or spokesperson. For those of you who know my story, I have a very deep connection with, Barbie and the whole Barbie world. We have collected over 300 of those dolls, and it was really a tie to that lack of self-worth that I felt, and I was able to kind of live that through those dolls. And so when I broke my silence, we use those dolls now in my nonprofit to be able to help people break their silence around abuse. And so I was like, I really want to be able to work with Mattel and the Barbie organization as an ambassador or spokesperson. So that's on my power list for 2019, putting it out into the world. You never know. So
I love that. I know somebody, my next door neighbor was the Mattel toy designer. So I'll connect you to her too. She's not there anymore, but she's amazing. So she might know somebody. So
my God.
I love connecting. I think it's my favorite thing. That's my power thing. I want to connect more people to their magnificence. That's what I want. I want everyone to be magnificent. I want people to remember. I want to help people remember their magnificence in every aspect. And wherever my gifts can enhance that, I'm in. I want it to be bigger.
This is why I love this woman. And that's why I want to be able to share my friends with you all. You just never know. You never know until you speak up, until you say the things, you speak your truth, that you stand in who you are and what you want, because it's available to you. And to be able to have like-minded people who you can bounce ideas off of that are in alignment with your way of thinking and your heart space is so important. So thank you, Cathy. And thank you so much for coming on to have this conversation. I think this is so valuable and important.
Yeah, no, thank you. Honestly, it's my privilege and pleasure to be talking about one of my favorite things. And don't forget to end with the declaration statement. I want to declare that I love everything that you've taught me, Havilah. Thank you for just making my life better. And then I declare that I want to help people in 2019 remember their magnificence. That's my key goal, is to just turn to people and they should remember who they are.
I love it. Yeah, so you need mindfulness, meditation, you have a corporation or a school, especially within the New York area, and she travels, you need to talk to Cathy, because she really is coming from such a heart-centered space and has the tools to be able to help share with people to bring them to their next level. And that's what I absolutely love. And two, share a couple of the items that are on your power list. So I heard your declaration statements and what you're bringing to the world in 2019, and I still see that for you. And I think there's some things that we can collaborate on to help bring that into fruition as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, hashtag Power Purge, hashtag Powerless. Was it hashtag Power Purge? Hashtag What's the hashtag for the positives? Power positive? Hashtag Power Purge. Then what's the hashtag for Power Positive? Share. Hashtag. And I'm celebrate every day. So if you are looking to find a little bit of inspiration in your day-to-day life, check me out on social media, everywhere. Celebrate every day.
Celebrate every day, or you can go to our website at celebrateeverydaytv.com. And so now we're going to come to the fun part of this process, which is, and matter of fact, while I'm getting my bowl together, I don't know if you want to share a couple of the items on your power list as I rip my purge list off.
Yeah, so I will share the things that I want to let go of. I also want to let go of a debt. Like I feel that's connected to my value, where I have racked up like $20,000 worth of debt, and I want to really just focus on bringing in abundance that is for my highest good. And that can include financial abundance. It can include more love. It can include less judgment. But I want just abundance of positivity, and I want to just clean out my debt, be cash only, or maybe at least just more balanced in what you know. I want to be more in integrity with all that value. Like I'm ready to clean that up. 2019 is my year of like getting clean. Like I want to just not have any of that hanging over my head without it being my choice.
I love that.
Consciously.
I love it. I love it. And so we want to take all of those things that are on that purge list that you created, and it's time to release that. And so there's even a statement that we picked up from this amazing shaman. And she said, "Dear universe, I no longer need the lessons that these feelings, things, or circumstances would teach me. If I haven't already, I vow to learn these lessons in a different way that feels better and opens my heart."
Ooh,
so
that's good.
Right? It's like, well, so with setting that intention, I'm taking that purge list. I am folding this up nice and small so that it fits into my burn bowl. And
you'll have to send that statement out, by the way, like put it on the bottom of this description, because that's powerful.
Yes.
That's powerful.
I will definitely do that. Like I love that. So I'm putting my my little purge list. So now pray for me on this.
You serious, Havilah? Have that jug of water ready.
Exactly. So I am setting this ablaze. I am letting this go into. Whew, wow, this actually feels really good.
Oh.
So it is in here burning up.
In your red power bowl. I love that you put it in a red power bowl.
Oh my goodness gracious. I am literally setting this bad boy ablaze. Oh my goodness. Wow.
And what was it? Dear universe, these lessons no longer serve me. Say that again.
Yes. I just burned it. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, so that makes sense. Let me see if I can remember.
But I have it written down somewhere.
Wait, you don't need to go back. This is the past. You know what? I put you back in the past.
But I will find the statement, the release statement, and share that with everybody. So if you would like to add that to your list, you can do that. That's so funny. Like, wait, where's the statement?
It doesn't serve me anymore. Why don't I keep that? Right. That's totally true.
Oh my God. So is this continuing to burn and be released? Oh yes, 2019 is going to be a beautiful year, baby. A beautiful year.
From your lips to God's ears for everyone.
Yes.
The world's ready to be enlightened, or just, lifted up in positivity.
I love that. And there's even, she also created a release, because even the things that you want, we want to be able to set a clear intention for what you want, but without attachment to it.
That's
so that you're not holding on to that for dear life. Like, oh my God, I need this to happen. No, you set your intention and then you release that. You let it go.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you mentioned that. Can I tell one quick story about that?
Yes, please.
Okay. I want to write a book called My Favorite Mistakes, but this happens to be not a mistake. It was just an accidental occurrence. But I always loved dance. Dance is one of my favorite things. And I'm from Mobile, Alabama. I moved to New York City in 1993 I worked for MTV in 1994, 95, I think. I was a production assistant, the lowest of the low, making pennies on a dime. And there was an audition to be a Rockette. And one of my jobs, I had to take something to Radio City Music Hall in New York City from MTV's offices. And I don't know, it was like a tape or something. And I saw there were auditions, and they were open auditions, like anyone could just show up. So the next day I like brought my leotard, and I didn't have dance shoes in New York City. I barely had a pot to piss in. I was so broke. So I didn't have dance shoes, but ballet flats were popular. So I had a pair of those from Payless or whatever the equivalent was back in the 1900s. And I just went and I stood in line, and I was surrounded by all these people. It was like, it was kind of like a chorus line where they sing, "Oh, I hope I get it. I hope I get it. Oh God, I really need this job." And they were like super dramatic. And they were like, "Oh my God, this is like the biggest thing I've ever done in my life." And they're like, "What brings you here? How long have you been dancing?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I just thought it'd be really fun to try out. And I'm standing here. I don't want to demean or diminish your amazing ability, but I really haven't taken dance since I was 13. So I just hope for the best." And guess what happened? So what happens is kind of like the movie A Chorus Line, where they put you in a group of 500 and you do a dance routine they tell you to do. Did it, got called back for the next, then they do like 100, got called back for the next 100, and then they do like 6. And then it became pretty obvious that I really hadn't taken dance since I was 13, because they started calling out ballet terms. And, I could do a jeté, I could do a pas de bourrée, but I don't even know if I'm saying that right. And I certainly couldn't do anything past that. So I was kind of like on stage doing my own thing. I'm at the stage of Radio City Music Hall, but I had no attachment to becoming a Rockette. I just really wanted to be in the experience of trying it. And I got all the way to the final 6. Like, what? That was crazy. And afterwards, I went and told the judges. I went up to the judges and I was like, "Oh my God, thank you. This is like one of the best experiences of my life. I never thought I'd dance on Radio City stage. Like, it was so amazing." And they were just like, "Who is this weird girl with a Southern accent and a perm? Like, why is she talking to us?" But I'm like, "Oh my God, it was amazing." So anyway, that was my story of surrender, where I didn't quite get to be a Rockette. It wasn't my destiny, but I really got to have the experience of what it was like to be a Rockette. It was so fun.
I love that.
So, anyway.
Yeah, just setting an intention, because sometimes we're like, well, I'm not ready for something. You know what? You're never ready, and even if you had to like practice your entire life, who knows if you would have got to the top 6, if that was a part of your, destiny, or a part of your path in life to bring you to where you're supposed to get to be in this moment right now. So it's kind of like, put your intention out there, say what you want,
and have fun with it. Have fun with it. Yes. Have fun with it. Have fun. That's what I did. I just had fun. Have fun. Follow the fun.
That's why I have let go being too serious.
Yes. I love
you. Have fun in life.
Yes, that's it. That's some words to live by. All right, I'm going to start signing off. This was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just share this this the release statement for your power list. It says, "Dear universe, I invite these emotions and circumstances into my life at this time to serve my highest and best good. I intend that these things will fuel me to be a better service, to be more present, and to keep my heart open." So here's to an amazing new year to you all. Thank you so much, Cathy, for joining us for this conversation. You can follow her at Celebrate Everyday, or check her out at celebrateeverydaytv.com. I am Havilah Malone, available at Havilah Malone on all social media. And here's to you and yours. Have a good one.
Happy New Year!
Yay!